Avengers, a symbol. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you are enjoying the content we're producing, please consider following that link in the description below to sponsor the channel today and become an Avenger on our Patreon. We have two tiers available, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. At that $5 tier, you become an Avenger Premium member, and your name is featured along with these other lovely people on our Avenger Memorial Hall of Fame. I always want to pause and take a minute to thank all of our sponsors for supporting Sanders Presents and for sponsoring the content and the videos we're producing. We don't have major sponsorship ties. We don't have big tie-ins with companies to advertise and sell. We don't have ads in the middle of these videos. Our goal is to be sponsored by you, the individual who enjoys our content. So, with that out of the way, and with basically as kind of a lead in to the topic, that is independence. The service of supporting independent creators in terms of, we have Disney, right? Disney is everywhere, and Disney is eating up properties. Disney, of course, already has the massive behemoth that is Mickey Mouse and all the Disney animated films and Toy Story and Pixar. They have Marvel, they have Star Wars, they have Indiana Jones, they have 20th Century Fox and everything that goes into that. I mean, you realize Disney owns the X-Files now. Think about that. Disney owns X-Files. Disney owns House. Disney owns so much. Disney owns 24. Like, think of everything that Disney owns. The Simpsons, all of it. Disney owns it all. Whether or not you're a fan of it, whether or not I'm a fan of it, Disney owns so much. It's pretty crazy to think about. Then you have WB, who, again, has DC, and they have stuff like The Matrix, and they have their own properties. You have Sony, of course, who has Spider-Man, and hopefully they get to keep Spider-Man because, like, these other companies need something to compete with Disney because Disney's putting out stuff all the time, and there needs to be competition. It's not a healthy idea to think about one company controlling everything. And it's interesting to me, which is, again, there was a comment that spurred this on, and that is that it is the support of a corporation, like the desire to believe that corporation has your back, that you are 100% behind the corporation and not the people. That's weird to me. And we're getting into that culture because people are personifying, they are giving identities to faceless companies, to executives, to people that don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about us as consumers. We are ATM machines. It's it. We are purely consumers. There is no interest in engagement beyond that. Look at NFTs. Look at what they're pushing. They do not care. They don't understand. There is no gravity to what they do. They chase the next dollar. They want the easiest way to make money with the least regulations as possible, with the least tracking as possible. It doesn't matter how dirty or how under the table it is. And it doesn't matter who you prefer, who you hate, who you despise. It doesn't matter if you're right or left. It doesn't fucking matter. No one gives a fuck. This is a business. It's about money. That's it. I love the joke, but it is true. If Al-Qaeda had a streaming service, Robert Downey Jr. would be on it just like Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Look at them jumping to Apple. Apple is notorious for what their company has done, for their slave labor. It is widely known, and no one gives a fuck because they go after the dollar. Harvey Weinstein was known. Everyone knew what he did. They don't give a fuck. Roman Polanski, Woody Allen, they get standing ovations from people like Meryl Streep and Guillermo del Toro. No one gives a fuck. They go where the money is. That's it. Their grandstanding, them getting up on their high horse telling us that, and trying to tell us what needs to be done, they make millions of dollars. The executives make billions of dollars. They are rolling in money. They don't give a fuck. If it would be so easy to change the world with the amount of money that they have and that they keep tightly guarded among that fabled 1%. They do not have your back. It is an act. It is marketing. There is no real personality to these people. From Instagram to Twitter to the companies that run them to their managers, everything is calculated and everything is purposeful. Purposeful. There we go. My point is, they don't give a shit. The companies don't, the celebrities don't. It is an act. It is an act on the stage that is the internet. None of it is real. Trying to sympathize with these people who make millions of dollars when they don't give a fuck about you is ridiculous. Defending these people is ridiculous. They would not defend you. They do not have your back. They do not know you personally. They don't give a shit. This is a job. They make a ton of money, and they are greedy. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Why we have a desire to personally relate to them through social media and to connect with them and what marketing is doing and how they're finding new ways to draw on the primitive parts of our brains. This is focus tested. This is marketing. These are managers. These are teams. People are paid to post on Instagram for them. These accounts are ran by other people. That's the thing you have to realize. They have teams. These are not real people. This is not like if you yourself went online and did something goofy on TikTok and hit it off, or if you went onto YouTube and did something goofy and hit it off, and you yourself is responsible for it, and it is you and your identity. These people are carefully cultivated through focus testing, through marketing, through management, and through teams. It's not real. It just isn't. And it's interesting to me. You can't have a company's back. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much I enjoy something. You have to draw that line. You have to have yourself at a bit of a disconnect from, okay, these billion-dollar corporations and me, and there is a difference there. There has to be a difference there. There has to be a disconnect. And you have to make sure that you stay true to yourself and that you don't fuck around. That's it. Now, I'll give you a minute. Star Wars. Some Marvel here. I got one more Marvel shelf. Hasbro. Pretty much so much of this produced by Hasbro. I mean, there you go. Gotta have a reality check. You know what I'm saying? You're a fan of these properties, that's fine, but don't let that don't let that turn to worship. Don't let companies get away with shit just because you're a fan. That's what I'm getting at. Don't let them get away with shit just because you're a fan. Don't let actors and celebrities get away with shit because you're a fan. You don't know these people. You can be a fan, and that's great, but you gotta fucking disconnect yourself. Because the executives and the celebrities, it doesn't matter. They got millions and millions of dollars, and they don't give a shit. And the idea that they do give a shit is it's fucking ridiculous in and of itself. Because they don't. They don't. And you gotta be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You have to be able to accept that they don't give a shit and move on from it. And you got to be able to enjoy your properties anyway. And you just have to be okay with it. You have to be able to enjoy your properties, but know that these things don't have your back. In terms of independent, because and kind of what inspired this and supporting independent content and independent properties, which I assume is kind of what the meat of the original question was. I took it into my own context, but hey, it's just what the fuck I'm going to do. Hellboy, Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. Saga's amazing, and Saga's actually back now. Highly recommend it. They got some really beautiful oversized deluxe hardcovers to catch yourself up with. Highly recommend those. Stray Dogs is absolutely fucking incredible. And those are the three that just kind of like launch out. Then there is Mouse Guard. I love Mouse Guard. And then there is the Stuff of Legend, which is amazing. And then Tale of Sand, which is an original graphic novel by Jim Henson. There's really amazing stuff that can kind of stand on its own. You know, there's stuff that you can pick up and check out and really enjoy, and I recommend those immensely. You can get away from these big companies and still find comics and stuff to fucking enjoy. Now, my comic reading is limited now in terms of what I purchase that is modern. It just is. I mean, I am trying to collect the library editions of Hellboy, but again, you know, that's a question of money when it's available and whatnot. Month to month, I am picking up Saga again because it's Saga, and I have 55 individual issues. I'm going to finish that series. So again, but Saga is the only comic I'm picking up month to month. And then there's the manga I read, because I love manga, and I want to support manga. I want to support the creators more. I believe, you know, the creators are significantly underpaid and underappreciated, and I think that absolutely needs to change. But I love anime, I love manga. That's really what a significant amount of like what I spend money on, like myself. Like if I have extra money, I'll go out and buy a volume of something, stay caught up on Ancient Magus Bride, My Hero Academia, Eden's Zero, and To Your Eternity. I'm trying to remember like everything, but like those are the main ones. Those are the main ones for me. And again, to each their own. Like, it's okay to love the properties, even in manga and anime. But it's not about the fucking corporations. There are people who are working hard. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get their due. Jack Kirby didn't get his due. Steve Ditko didn't get his due. Numerous manga creators don't get their due. They work unbelievable hours to make ends meet. All the post-production, all the film crews don't make anywhere near what the celebrities make. And I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. And I will continue to stand on that hill. That's fucking bullshit. Because there is so much more that goes into this shit in terms of screenplay, lighting, cinematography, post-production, visual effects. There's so much else fucking done on these that isn't just about the celebrity. And yet they make hand over fist millions of dollars. And I think it's bullshit. I just do. And I will always feel that way. Hollywood is fucking broken. Hollywood is fucking disgusting. That's just fucking it. It's it. It's and most of the time, really, all they're and now they're just controlled by franchises. Hollywood is franchising now. That's it. That's what they care about. That's absolutely it. And that's fine. Make content, you enjoy it, cool. But that doesn't mean they get to get away with this shit. Any creepy thing they do, any weird thing they do, harming the environment, slave labor, bullshit like that, Apple, it doesn't matter who the fuck it is. They shouldn't get away with it. And sometimes on social media, there seems to be the wrong fights. You know, fights centered on whether or not you like the sequel trilogy is bullshit. It just is. There's crazier shit going on in the world that if people got behind, you know, you could, again, it's a matter of just making a fucking difference. Not telling someone, hey, you shouldn't like this, here's why, fuck you for liking it. It's like, fuck. I don't know. I don't fucking know. None of us fucking know. I mean, that's just the point of it. None of us fucking know. The only right answer is there are smaller properties and, you know, independent kind of content you could support. It doesn't all have to be Disney or WB or what the fuck ever. But there is options out there. But don't treat these companies like they're people. They're not. Don't defend them. Doesn't fucking do anything to defend them. Anyway, to my Avengers, thank you so much for sponsoring this channel. If you're willing and able, please consider following that link in the description below to support Sanders Presents today. Become a sponsor and join our Avengers. Thank you for considering. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Please consider liking this video if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share our content with your friends. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and those algorithms. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.